was $4.99. I'll throw in the installation and bottom seal free. Call now and I'll upgrade you to our exclusive Silent Glide door system. Call 888-MESA-DOOR, 888-MESA-DOOR, or visit MesaGarageDoors.com.
Broadcasting live from the Southern California BMW newsroom. Visit SoCalBMW.com today for exceptional lease and finance offers. KNX 1070 AM and HD, AMP HD2 Los Angeles, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Coming up, it is our top local story. A sheriff's cruiser involved in a deadly four-car crash in the southbound 5. Traffic snarled in Sun Valley. And a Marine arrested on suspicion of murdering his estranged wife in Orange County. These stories plus your traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. CBS News covers the world next. It's 11 o'clock.
CBS News. I'm Bill Rakoff. Tough talk from the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations after North Korea's latest missile launch. Nikki Haley at the White House a short time ago seemed to indicate that a military option to solve the problem of Kim Jong-un might be moving up the priority ladder.
There's not a whole lot the Security Council is going to be able to do from here when you've cut 90% of the trade and 30% of the oil. So, having said that, I have no problem kicking it to General Mattis because I think he has plenty of options.
North Korea conducted its longest ever test flight of a ballistic missile Friday, flying over Japan and splashing into the Pacific Ocean. Protests in St. Louis. A St. Louis judge acquitting a white former police officer today of first-degree murder and the shooting death of a black man in 2011. Former officer Jason Stockley said he saw Anthony Lamar Smith holding a gun before a car chase began and feared for his life when the chase ended, opening fire. KMOX reporter Michael Calhoun.
This not guilty verdict for this police officer who was caught on tape before the shooting talking about killing the suspect has protesters out in the street in downtown St. Louis. They began near the Arch. They attempted to shut down I-64, but were met with police and are now walking down Olive Street amidst the tall buildings here in downtown St. Louis. The chants include no justice, no peace. Michael Calhoun, CBS News, downtown St. Louis.
The hunt is on for the person who set off an improvised explosive device on a London subway train this morning.
Terror on the London Underground.
For a second, it goes through my mind, I'm going to die today.
The packed train had just pulled into Parsons Green in West London.
I've had a large bang, then this fireball singed all my hair.
Panicked passengers stampeded down the elevated station's narrow staircase. 22 people treated for burns and crush injuries. Experts say the bomb failed to fully detonate, or the casualties could have been worse than the Manchester suicide attack that killed 22 people in May. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Applause as NASA's Cassini spacecraft disintegrated in the skies above Saturn today as planned. Project manager Earl Mays addressing employees at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena.
I hope you're all as deeply proud of this amazing accomplishment. Congratulations to you all.
Cassini's the only spacecraft to orbit Saturn and explore its rings and moons up close. 20 years ago today, the Google.com domain name was registered. CBS News technology consultant Larry Magid looks back at Google's search history.
Google's growth over the last 20 years has been nothing but remarkable. It completely dominates the search engine business, is a major player when it comes to smartphones with its Android operating system, and is also a pioneer when it comes to autonomous vehicles.
It's a good day on Wall Street. Just before the hour, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 47 points, the S&P 500 up 1, and the NASDAQ Tech-Heavy Index up 14. This is CBS News.
And this is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. Good morning, I'm Chris Sedens. Our top local story at 11:03. Traffic still struggling through the Sun Valley area on southbound Interstate 5. Those investigating the cause of a 4-car fatal crash, hoping to reopen the entire roadway in the next few hours. We have in-depth team coverage. We begin going live to the scene in KNX 1070's Pete Demetrio.
The majority of the wreckage of the cars that were involved has been cleared off the road surface, but the CHP's multidisciplinary accident investigation team is still involved with the final measurements of the reconstruction of events that happened at 3:30 this morning, when a stalled Honda was struck by 3 other cars, resulting in 1 death and 5 other people being injured. CHP Officer Ryan Behar says the investigators know the urgency involved in clearing the area as fast as they can.
We have a lot of people traveling. We have people going to work. We have people that are going out of town. So we want to get this open. This is a very busy day of the week.
Even though we've had 2 lanes of traffic open for the last 90 minutes, there's still an awful lot of congestion in the area, both on the freeway and on the surface streets. For an overhead assessment, let's go to Desmond Shaw on Sky 3.
Still a massive delay over this way, no doubt about it. Southbound side of the 5 from San Fernando Mission down to the closure. Only getting by in those two right lanes. This could easily be an hour delay or more. Now, I'm looking down at San Fernando Road. That has recovered decently, as has Laurel Canyon. Even Arleta is getting a lot better. Glen Oaks is the best. If you're willing to just go about a mile out of your way, it's worth it to double back. You take that to Sheldon West, and that will get you to either the 5 or the 170. Still seeing a lot of volume on this eastbound 210. Way worse than usual as people were trying to avoid this, and the South 405 was getting busy as well, and it had its own issues, but at least things have cleared over on that South 405 through the North Hills area. Live over Pacoima, Desmond Shaw, KNX 1070 News Radio.
To the freeways now at 11:05. Your traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Here's Tom Tran.
And as you just heard from Desmond, still a mess up in the valley because of those earlier SIG alerts. And it looks like we've got a new problem over on the 134 going westbound at Brand. Looks like a two-car crash.